Hi everyone, my name is Candi Wishman. I'm a psychic intuitive, and this video is for those of you who are Libra. So this is all about your July 2021. We're going to look at all the different aspects of your life and what to expect this month. Now you could be a sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign Libra, which means the sun, the moon, the first house in your natal chart, or Venus were in Libra at the time of your birth. It is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. So just take what resonates and what feels good to you. The first part that we're going to look at is the soul energy coming in. Like what type of energy is coming in from your higher self and your soul guidance team to help support you this month. It's a little bit harder to shuffle because they're a little bit big for my hands. I just got little hands. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we'll take that. That's the first one. The sound of the universe. Okay, very interesting. So I love that. Number one, it's a 51 because we have change of self through love. 5 plus 1 equals 6. 6 is love. So changing oneself through the eyes of love, through the sound of love, through the energy of love, versus changing from the outside in or needing to be loved, right? It's from a space of love. And then we have the sound of the universe, and the universe comes in many sounds, but I was drawn to this when the card came out, and this is the vocal cords, right? Our throat chakra. So there's some kind of vocal cords. You could carry light codes or energy or some kind of healing on with the sound of your voice, on the notes of your voice I'm hearing. And it's very interesting. It's like her hair is like little tubas, like the little tuba, the tube part of the tuba. So very interesting. Some of you could be hearing the sound of the universe, in essence, actually communicating on a deeper level with your spirit guides, with the universe, ascended masters, etc. Okay, so what else is coming through? So there's some kind of energy with that coming through. Ooh, communication, co-creation. So this is peace and balance within oneself through joy, communication, and creativity. So I do see some collaborative work here for you, but it may not be in the physical, Libra. People could be coming into your life to co-create with you. And your higher self and soul guidance team could absolutely orchestrate that. But I feel like, I'll make sure it's on here. But I feel like this is very much co-creating with your soul guidance team on a much deeper personal level to create peace for yourself, to create balance, really being able to communicate with them and trust that they're hearing you, okay? I know sometimes we ask for help or we ask for guidance of some kind. I just want to make sure that this is, you guys can see all these cards that I'm going to put down because there's going to be a lot. So, okay. Is that good? Okay, just making sure everything is still rolling. All right. Here we are. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, so we're going to look at start with the aspect of self. We're going to look at the body, the mind, and the emotions. And we're going to look at how you can tell when you're in shadow, because when we go into shadow or we're aware of shadow, it means that we're and you could be, I'm going to preface, you could be doing these things already. You could be working on these things already, and just take them as confirmation. Don't take them as spirit telling you have to do them. If you're not aware, it's going to be a great awareness piece, because what they're showing me through these readings is that the shadow aspect is ready to reveal itself so that you can create shift and then healing and of course happiness. So we're going to start with the body, the physical self. I do feel as a collective we're all learning how to communicate with our bodies in a different way. And so we're learning all different kinds of things from our body, out of the old stuff. So I'll take this top one. Okay, so we have fruition. There was faith underneath, okay, which is a 31. This is sort of having that faith without results is what I heard. But we have fruition, and it's a 37. And 37 is, again, I'm seeing a lot of threes. Okay, so we have communication, creativity, put these over here, joy, and then we have 7, which is knowledge. So maybe perhaps learning a new way to create, learning a new way to communicate with your body, right? We have the communication piece there, but it's in a transitionary period. So it's almost like, you know, when you're trying to fine tune a signal and it's kind of hit or miss. That's what I'm getting from that. It's sort of a hit or miss until you find that right spot. You tune into that particular station. So just be mindful that you might be frustrated because it might be hit or miss. You might get really clear signals from your body and know exactly what they mean, and other times have no idea. And just know that that's you fine-tuning the connection and getting really clear. You'll notice when there's other stations trying to get into your frequency. Okay. All right. So when you're in shadow with your body, it's going to present itself like so. Interesting. The 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is actually, it's a friendship card. It can be a reunion card. It can be a celebration card, a partying too hard card. So maybe you're partying too hard. What I actually got from this, though, was comparison. I don't know why. That's not usually what the 3 of Cups means, but that's what came through when this card came up, and perhaps comparing yourself to your friends in some way. And again, just know that sometimes we've already worked through the shadow, but it likes to rear its ugly head once in a while. So just know this isn't a judgment of, you know, whether maybe you've been working really hard on not comparing yourself and here it is coming up. Just know it might be a confirmation for you that yes, you're on the right path with recognizing that that's a shadow aspect, and that's actually going to take you further away from what you're trying to achieve. So how do you create shift? How do you create shift with this? Oh. Okay, so, interesting. We have the Hermit and we have the Ace of Wands. And I'm going to take this as the shift because it was on this side. The Hermit is about going within and what I'm getting is being comfortable in your own skin and honoring your unique path. When you remove the outside energy from around yourself and you come back to yourself, you're instantly in alignment. So you have this natural state of self-acceptance, whereas if you are allowing maybe even your perception of the people around you in, okay, that's where the comparison comes from. But Spirit is saying you can shift this by shifting within yourself, like going within yourself and honoring the perfection that you are, and seeking out, if necessary, the wound that's making you feel you need to compare yourself, because we all do that. It's how we were conditioned. It was through competition. It was through, you know, sometimes our parents did it. They were like, you know, you should be like this or you should be like that kind of a deal. So you should be like this person or whatever, right? Like that's just unfortunate, but it's part of their legacy that most of us are here to break. Like we're here to break the cycle of those things, and that's what we're doing. So I feel the Ace of Wands is the outcome or the healing. The Ace of Wands it can be a very sexual card. It can be a very inspirational card, but it's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It's a very powerful, a powerful source of creativity, like a new creative beginning. And it's just to witness that when you step away from comparing yourself to others and honor yourself, you're going to be more inspired to do more of that, to do more of that communication, to do more of that connection to the self. And it's going to inspire you to do really cool things. It's going to help you with your co-creation, because I really feel there's going to be a lot of co-creation for you, Libra. Okay, let's take a look at the mind. What's going on with the mind, Libra? Ooh, we've got hunger. Hungry wolves. Hungry wolves. It is a cycle ending, okay? But it's through your intuition. We have peace and balance through something ending, and it could just be, you know, sometimes, I don't know why they're showing me this, but, you know, sometimes I'll be like, I'm not really hungry, but my brain is like, you have to eat. Or we have all of these old rules that we think we have to abide by. So be mindful of where your mind is coming in. and it's not necessarily, not literally hunger. But there's some kind of, there's a hunger for change, but there's also a feeling of emptiness without those rules that I'm getting. So let's take a look at what the shadow looks like here. Oh, the Four of Wands. Interesting. That's very interesting. So I feel like this is, the Four of Wands could be marriage. Okay. It could be a celebration of some kind, connecting with others. That's very fascinating, because I feel like this is sort of like your protective ego doesn't like the feeling of loneliness. It doesn't like feeling alone. There's an emptiness there that it doesn't want to witness or recognize. Okay, some of you might long to be in partnerships because you don't like to be alone. Some of you might feed off of the energy of a new beginning of a relationship. And again, there's no judgment in this. It's just coming up. And some of you might be aware of this, where there's difficulty in being alone in your own energy sometimes. And that's it. It's not all the time, because I feel like the group that I'm tapping into, I feel like you guys, for the most part, are okay with being in your own energy when it's the right time. But then those hungry ghosts creep in and make you feel like you need somebody. So feel into that, okay? Because there's something there. There's some kind of something that needs to come into your awareness with that. So what does shift look like for you, Libra? Try to shift. Oh, okay. Knight of Cups. Yeah, realigning with the energy of love. Because when we're truly connected to the energy of love, we don't need anything, to be honest. And the Knight of Cups is very much all about reconnecting with that energy. And it's so funny, because the Knight of Cups is often like an offer of love. And I really feel it's almost like if you can offer yourself that love, the universe will bring in the people around you. They'll bring people in for you that you don't feel you necessarily need, but they're good and healthy for you. Like it's they're people that you wouldn't create a codependency with, if that makes sense. Okay. And then what do we have for the healing and the outcome? We have the eyes of a brand new world. With the Page of Pentacles, it's learning, and it's learning to perceive the world around you and the environment around you in a whole new way. And I feel like it's going to help shift your mind from the space of needing to be anything and fully accepting that with which you are. So I really feel, you know, your shadow is going to show up as feeling hungry for connection. The shift is going to be connecting to love within you. And the healing is going to help you see the world in a whole new way, where, because I feel like there's some, and it might be only some of you, but there's some kind of stigma around what it's like to be in a relation, like how people perceive you when you're in a relationship versus how they perceive you when you're single. And there's some kind of judgment that you might feel around that, that's making you feel you need to be in a relationship, or you need to have lots of friends, or you need to be with your friends. And this is not the same as just wanting to connect with people and enjoy their company. That's not the same thing. This is a hungry energy. So that's how you know it's in shadow, okay? All right, let's look at our emotions, Libra. Let's look at our emotions. I'm getting a pendulum, so you might be experiencing a bit of a pendulum. I love that. We've got self-reflection. And then we have boundaries, okay? And I love that the boundaries card came up, because when I got the pendulum, some of you might be going through another phase of ascension, which means you're going to be a little bit more sensitive. And when you're more sensitive, you're going to absorb a lot from other people. So to just be mindful of that and create some healthy energetic boundaries for yourself, so that you don't absorb other people's stuff, because it's gonna make you feel like a swinging pendulum emotionally. we have self-reflection. I love this. We have self-knowledge to create empowerment. 1 + 7 = 8. 8 is empowerment. So, and I find it very interesting, because emotions are water, right? And then she's up to her neck in water, but she's calm. So it's almost like the more you know about yourself, and the more you know about how you're reacting to emotions, the more empowered you're going to be throughout this phase. Okay, so let's take a look at when you are in shadow. How to tell that the 5 of Cups. Yeah, the 5 of Cups is often crying about things from the past. So what they're showing me, and this is super interesting, this happens to me a lot. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but I will pick up stuff from other people and not realize that I've picked up stuff from other people. And then my mind is trying to make it mean something in regards to my life. So what'll happen is it'll pull up all of these things that I'm pretty sure I dealt with or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, is this coming up again? And why is this affecting me? And blah, blah, blah. But it's really that my mind is trying to make sense of how I'm feeling. And it's not going to be able to do a good job, because it's trying to make it mine when it might belong to somebody else. So what I get from this is that you'll know when you're picking up other people's stuff if you are upset over something that you healed already, because your mind is trying to go back to a place where you felt something similar to that. So you could be picking up what somebody is feeling, and how they're feeling is how you felt about something in the past. I'm hoping that makes sense, okay? Because, yeah, we'll just leave it at that, okay? Yeah, look at that. 7 of Swords. It's very interesting, because the 7 of Swords is often a sneaky or hidden energy. So the shift can come in 2 ways. It can come from recognizing that this is a very sneaky energy. It's a very sneaky protective ego, right? It's how our mind is trying to control our emotions, okay? But it can also come from a place, strangely enough, of inaction, and that's through observation. Do you notice that this guy with the 7-sworded shield is observing things from a distance? He's removed himself from the situation, and he's observing. So a lot of the shift might come from a space of observing the emotions, so that you can be really clear about whether they're actually yours or not. Almost like taking your mind out of it and allowing yourself as the observer to witness the experience. Okay, what does the healing outcome look like? Ooh, I love this. Okay, I'm not going to take the Tower, because I'm trying to keep these on the down low. The Tower is actually people see it as a difficult card, but this is the universe coming in to help you tear down any blockages to a really solid, healthy foundation. Anything that's built on a faulty foundation is going to come down with this Tower, and the universe is coming in to help you with that. And with this card, the Ace of Cups is new beginnings in love. It's also a love of self, the inexhaustible source of love from within. So the healing and outcome with this is, it's almost like going through these things, and everything has its purpose, okay? So if you're absorbing emotions from other people and having to deal with them, there's a purpose to it. And I really feel not only is it helping you understand how your mind works, which is also going to give you empowerment, but it's helping you uncover anywhere that you're not connecting to love. And it can feel like a Tower moment sometimes when it's really, really heavy. So my throat is really, whew, it's really, I'm going to get a drink. But there's some kind of truth coming through here around, and it's really just honoring your truth about it and being able to, recognize your own truth and not feel vulnerable or weak because of it. I don't know where that's coming from. That might only be specific people, but okay. We're going to get into relationships. So the first relationship sector that we're going to look at is family. So what is the family dynamic going to be like for you this month, Libra? Ew. Abundance. Okay, so this is good. We have joy, creativity, communication, and empowerment through intuition. Through your intuition. So if you honor your intuition over the mind, over the need to problem solve with the mind, I feel like the relationships you have with the people in your family are going to be more abundant. Let's take a look at, let's see how it shows up in shadow, because a lot of our family members are not awake, or they're waking up in their own way. Some of them are surface level, some of them aren't willing to wake up at all, and that's okay. That's their path, that's what they've chosen, and everyone has a purpose. Those who haven't awakened yet, when they do pass eventually, however long that away that might be, they're taking the density with them. So we know that everybody has their path, but we also know on some level that our gifts are not meant to work on our family members, because we play a different role in their life. So with the abundance piece, let's look at when it's in shadow. Yeah, we have the Temperance card. So in shadow, this is about feeling very unbalanced, almost like not an equal exchange. So what I get from that, and I think that's why they had me go on that rant about how some of our family members just aren't awake. They may not be able to hear what you're having to say, so you might feel unheard. You might be able to hear everything they're saying, but you feel they're not hearing you. And just to recognize on an intuitive level that that has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with what frequency they're in and what reality they're choosing to be in, and that it itself has purpose. Okay, so what does this shift look like? Oh yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is a new physical beginning. So if you can shift your relationship to a different kind of relationship, to a different energy, to a different space, it's going to yield prosperity. It's going to yield positive results. So what I get from that is, because some of you may have felt like you weren't heard as children. Some of you may feel like you were never given a seat at the table, and you might want that from them. But if you can shift to a place of acceptance that that's not a possibility, and that you have a different, like, it's just, if you can shift how you want the relationship to be into accepting what it is, it's going to yield abundance for you in the space of balance and peace, and bring you joy to be around those people, versus wanting them to meet you where they're at, where they really don't know where that is. They don't know the path there. So what does this healing outcome look like? Look at that. The Nine of Pentacles. She ain't a queen, but she probably should be. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is just feeling really solid in who you are and your uniqueness. And, you know, the thing about the family dynamic is, because they're the most constant part of our lives, and really the most consistent part of our lives when we're developing mentally and emotionally and physically and all of that stuff, we tend to attach ourselves to their limited purview. And when that happens, we limit ourselves, and we don't allow the beauty of us to come out, the uniqueness in us. We tend to we struggle with honoring the uniqueness of who we are. So just know that if you can shift how you see the relationships with your family, you can shift the relationship you have with yourself and just be able to fully embrace and embody the amazing human being that you are. Okay. The thing with family is sometimes, you know, I don't know if you come from a family like me where everybody's has an opinion and they do it out of love. They feel like that's how they love. Okay. Even though it doesn't feel like love, that's how they express their love. It makes you constantly doubt yourself. It makes you constantly feel like, you know, you're not good enough or you have to change so that they will accept you. But I think the acceptance has to be the other way around on an intuitive level. And so that once you accept them for the way that they are, you can release any attachment to their opinion of you. And you can step into your own opinion of yourself. And it can be whatever you want it to be. All right, let's take a look at friendships, Libra. What do your friendships look like this month? Okay, so we have some resilience. We have 21. So I feel like we had 21 somewhere else. I don't know why. There may have been some kind of burden with your friendships. You could have felt burdened by them, especially with this hungry energy. You may have had some people who were hungering for your energy, or you may, you know, there may be some friends that you hunger for more than others. I don't know. But we have some balance and peace with the self through joy, communication, and creativity. So it's almost like if the relationship burdens you, figure out why. Is it your burden, or are you being burdened by their energy? Because you can do all kinds of things with that. But let's take a look at what the shadow looks like with this energy. Okay. Oh, the Two of Wands. Interesting. The Two of Wands is, I think it's interesting. So this particular card, he's looking at this with a magnifying glass. So when you're in shadow, I think that's why I was like, figure out why, but it was really quiet. I'm like, when you're in shadow, you might be picking apart certain things, either certain things of yourself or certain things of your friends. Okay. You might be trying to pick certain things apart, and there's something there about that. What they're kind of showing me is you might not be happy in the friendship, or there might be something about the friendship that isn't working for you, and your shadow, and I forgot to preface at the beginning, our shadows are created from our conditioning. So how we learned to be based on the experiences we had with other people, or we were conditioned by the people around us. So your shadow in this aspect, if you're feeling out of balance in a friendship, or feeling like, or maybe feeling like something's not right, or they might be triggering a wound, you might in your mind want to pick them apart. It may make you feel inferior. So it's almost like in your mind you want to pick them apart because you feel they hurt you, but they didn't actually hurt you. It's just they're triggering a wound. I'm hoping this is making sense. So that could be a huge burden to want to like really focus on the things, because that's just a defense mechanism. Okay. But maybe those friends are here to bring that into your awareness. Okay. And then we have like the Justice card. So the Justice card is you. It's a Libra energy. And what it's telling me is that the shift happens when you can take a step back and come back into balance. Okay. And recognize that if somebody hurt you in any way, it could have just been the tone they used. It could have been the words they used, whatever that looks like. How you received it is what you need to pay attention to. Because what their intentions are, whether it was their intention to hurt you or not is not your responsibility to figure out, but you might want to pick them apart because that makes you feel superior. Do you see how that works? And again, this is just the shadow aspect. This isn't the true essence of who you are. This is how you learned to handle pain from people, painful experiences, wanting to knock them down a few pegs because you feel like they think they're better than you. I don't know where that's coming from, but there's something there with that, guys. And again, it might not resonate with everybody, so just feel into that. But if you can come back into your own energy and come back to a place of balance with it and be like, okay, I'm hurt. Why is this hurting? And kind of go and not pick apart yourself, but maybe recognize where the wounding is coming from. Like, if you felt this before, where did you feel it before? You know, where does that take you back to, kind of a thing. And the healing outcome with this, okay, is the Knight of Swords. So we have truth bomb energy. We have truth here. You're going to find your truth, but your truth is within you and not within other people. So you're going to be able to come back into your truth. And it's going to be, because that's a fast moving energy, that Knight of Swords, but I feel like you'll also be able to witness where you're trying to fight something that doesn't need to be fought. Okay. Very interesting. All right, let's take a look at romance, whether you're in a relationship or not. Oh. Okay, so we had discernment. That was the first one, but let's get, oh, okay, there we go. Ooh, we got the void, peeps. So if you're in a relationship, you might feel like it's in the void, like it's stagnant, it's not going anywhere. And your mind might be trying to make it mean something. Doesn't mean anything. It means you're in transition. You're meant to focus on self. All of the people in your life, regardless of whether they're intimate or not, are actually supporting actors, and you are the lead. So some of you might be single. You might have been single for a really long time and you feel like you're in a drought. Okay, but it's all for purpose. It's all because you're meant to be honoring yourself at this time. And for some of you, you might actually give a lot of yourself away in relationships or forgo other people's needs, like your partner's needs versus your own. So let's take a look at what the shadow aspect looks like here. Whoops. Oh yeah, we got the King of Swords. The King of Swords can be very fair, very legal. So some of you might be worrying about legal shit. I don't know who that is, but this is also my way or the highway. And the King of Swords, you know, he's not really a temper tantrum kind of guy. That's more the King of Cups. But it's almost like I'm picking up an energy of like, why is this happening to me? Like, I want what I want. Like, it's almost very forceful, but it's like my way or the highway. Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you. So what they're showing me is when you're in shadow, when it comes to relationships. So if you've been single a long time, or you're single, okay, there's an awareness coming up around when you're in shadow, when you're in a relationship. And for those of you that are in a relationship, your shadow shows up this way. So it's the same for both, whether you're single or not. But when you're in shadow, when your needs aren't being met, when you're not meeting your needs, it becomes very my way or the highway. And your Libra energy, which is very much about keeping the status quo, keeping balance, trying to be the mediator, only works for so long. Okay, so you enter into the King of Swords energy when your needs are not being met. But it can't be anyone else. Even your partner can't meet your needs. You're going to have to meet them yourself. So that's that realigning with love again. Because it could be showing you that you're giving too much of yourself to this other person and not enough to you. Okay, so what does the shift look like? Ooh, the Seven of Wands. Okay, the Seven of Wands is a defensive energy. Okay, so the awareness comes from you understanding that you might feel like you need to defend yourself. You need to defend your needs. You need to defend your wants. And allowing yourself to recognize why you need to defend those things. It's that hungry energy around needing something from somebody else in order to feel really good about yourself or solid. But this is all happening in your transition to recognize that you have everything within you. So that the relationships you have, romantic or otherwise, can just be a bonus. They can just be an addition to yourself. So what does this healing outcome look like? Look at that. This is a higher level of commitment. It's the Hierophant, okay? You can have a higher vibrational relationship when you yourself have tended to your own vibration. And this could be marriage. This could also be spiritual guidance, okay? So allowing yourself, opening up to your higher self to guide you through these times of feeling like you're in a drought romantically. Or feeling like you're in a drought when you're in a relationship and your needs aren't being met. But I really truly feel that it's all shifting you to a place where you can have a higher frequency or a higher vibrational relationship that's healthy. Okay, right? Because you're going to be attracting somebody that doesn't need anything either. Like it's so yeah. So it's all preparing you for that kind of thing. Okay, let's take a look at your expansion. What have you been, your expansion overall for one, and then we got a couple here. So we have, yeah, sovereignty. We have effort of self through change. So wanting to really create change for yourself. And we have focus. Interesting that we have 4114. So we have a mirror energy here. And through freedom, you're going to find pure focus. You're going to be able to find that calm focus through your transformation. And this is where your expansion is taking you. Okay, so let's see. What are you shifting out of? What are you just coming out of? What have you just expanded? The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is it can be chaotic energy. So you might I'm getting a couple of things that you just recently expanded through. Okay, the first one is noticing when you're chaotic. So noticing when you're trying to focus on too many things, and then being able to come back to yourself and really channel your energy. And the other one is the Knight of Wands is notorious for wanting to charge ahead, but then holding himself back out of fear. So there could be some awareness around you really wanting something, but also noticing where you're holding yourself back in regards to wanting that. Okay. And what will you be expanding currently? Can you expand? Okay, so that's over here. Ooh, the Magician. I love that. So what you're going to be expanding currently is recognizing that you have everything you need within you. The Magician has all the resources within, and he has the willpower and the determination and the dedication to really start moving his dreams into reality. Okay, but it's from an effort of inside out. Okay. And then we see you expanding probably closer to the end of July into the Two of Swords energy. So this is also Libra energy, but the Two of Swords is about trusting without having all the information. So it's almost like, you started out in this Knight of Wands energy where you have a passion for something, but you're kind of holding yourself back. And then you shift into the Magician energy where you realize that you have everything you need. You have this solid foundation you've created for yourself, within yourself, to move forward. And then it shifts you into the courageous state of being, you know what? I don't need to be in fear because I trust myself. I don't need to be in fear about where I'm going or who's around me or what's happening, because I trust myself and I trust the universe. So I think that's going to be a very powerful shift for you, Libra. All right, let's take a look at what is hidden or unseen for you for this month of July. What does Spirit want you to know but isn't obvious? Nope. Okay, so we have purity. We have some kind of cleansing happening. It is 30 with an amplification of a 0. So we have a lot of, again, that joy, creation, communication, or creativity. And it's amplified by the 0. I do feel, I know these are all moon cards, but there is something with the full moon that's going to really wipe away a lot for you. We have trust and we have nourishment. So we have change and we have knowledge. Nourishing yourself from within and trusting that you're safe outside of your bubble. You will be shifting it. I feel I feel the boundary stuff is going to shift a little bit for you guys. And it's going to shift in essence of not feeling the need to protect yourself so much because the energy will protect you. But we will see a lot of change for you. This is all about your growth and knowledge and nourishing yourself from a space of healthy knowledge, not that old stuff that we learned growing up. You're learning a new way to be in your human experience. Okay. All right. So we're going to go into guidance. If you're still with me, God bless you, or universe bless you, or what have you. Yes, so we're going to do a couple, we're going to do a language of light, because I just love those cards, and we're going to do your crystal for the month, and we're going to do a couple of guidance pieces. So, and then we will be all wrapped up, my friends. Someone almost wanted to come through. Oh, okay. Ooh, I love that. Alignment. Self-effort to create change. Okay, look at that beautiful card. I always read from the book because they got some good stuff in there. So, sorry, the secret language of light. That's what we got. 14. A covenant of mind, body, and spirit. Your soul is your biggest fan. It knows the truth of you and loves you unconditionally. It is continuously streaming this information to you. To tune in, your mind, body, and spirit must all agree in the now. To do this by meditating and focusing on your soul name, enjoying something you love, or having a nap. It is not up to your soul to zap you into alignment. Its job is to maintain your soul station so you have a frequency to tune into. So this is very much about you tuning into your own frequency. And what I love about that, Libra, is when you do that, it doesn't matter what's going on around you, because you have this, like, your soul loves you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to, and then when you can connect with that frequency of love that your soul has for you, it's going to bring in people that have that love for you too. And it's going to help you see that maybe the people who are even triggering you love you too, beyond the wounds that you're feeling. So I do feel like this is aligning with your soul and remembering that you have that deep connection. Okay, let's get 2 guidance pieces. Oops. Oh, look at that. That was nice and fast. Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So heal past love wounds. Right? The 2 of Cups asks you to review any past romantic trauma, or is recognizing that you are. We are often taught to just sweep the pain under the rug and keep trucking. But if this happened in a past relationship, it will find its way to make itself known in any current relationship you're in. It will repeat like a pattern until you heal and release it from your energy. So I honor and release any pain from a past romantic relationship. And then develop self-awareness. So the Knight of Wands asks you to embrace self-discovery, or is recognizing that you are. This card can be hit or miss, back and forth, a drive to push forward, but a fear of actually doing so. So understanding how you operate when it comes to forward movement and going for what you truly want has a lot to do with how self-aware you are. It can help you remove any roadblocks that create doubt in your abilities. So I enjoy discovering all aspects of myself. So we have the Knight of Wands showing up here again. Okay, let's take a look at your crystal for the month. Excuse me while I make a mess with my cards. Okay. I'm hoping everything's still, you can see. Okay, good. I'm like, can you see everything still? I hope so. All right. Ooh, oh, I love that. Every time I see this card, watermelon sugar high. Anyway, so we have the watermelon tourmaline, and this is actually the last card in this deck, and it's a really beautiful message. So we have seeing perfection in the moment, basking in the bliss of just being, natural joy, and a peaceful heart. Watermelon tourmaline spirit comes bearing the message that the divine order supports you in experiencing your bliss. Notice the perfection in this moment, that unbreakable connection to universal consciousness within you. The conscious universe is here to guide you so you may feel and experience bliss as it radiates outward. Your outer conditions will soon respond with a reflection of your natural joy and peaceful heart. So this is very much about you creating the kind of energy you want around you inside you first, so that it can shape the outside of you, the outer aspects of your energy. All right, I hope that this has helped, Libra. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazing July.